What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a different style haircut. I'm trying to bring y'all different haircuts, different styles, just to keep the content versatile and keep y'all learning what I can give y'all, what knowledge I could spread, just to help out everybody who is subscribed to the channel. And I truly appreciate everybody who is subscribed to the channel. I truly thank you, because this would not be possible without all of my subscribers. So we are at 1420 right now, and we're en route to 2K right now. So at 2K, I will be doing a Tune 45 Power Mat giveaway, so stay tuned for that. Spread love, spread the channel, spread the videos that I got, and just share them out there with anybody that you think may get some beneficial information from my videos. So like I said, different style haircut today. We do it like a Drake type style fade with the beard, not too long on the top, pretty close on the sides, and just get the beard trim nice and crispy. So like I said, I truly thank all those who are subscribed to the channel, who are always reaching out to me on Instagram, on YouTube. If you have suggestions on what you would like to see on the channel, drop them down in the comment section. I do see all the comments, I do see all the DMs that people be sending, so I do pay attention to everything, and I do my best to reply to everybody that does send me something. But without further ado, let's get to the video.
Look, I just flipped the switch.
Manny.
Hey YouTube, back here with another video today, and today we're going to be doing a Drake style haircut, fade on the side, bringing the top down a little bit. But first of all, what I did here is I saturated the hair with water, and we're just going from the crown and just directionalizing that hair where it needs to go, where it needs to lay properly. And then we're going to go ahead and take our 1.5 guard lever open, and I'm going to go ahead and start attacking that cowlick area. And I'm going to go with a 1.5 on the rest of the head, but in this area where we have the cowlick, I'm going to go with a 1.5 for the simple fact that I don't want to take off too much hair in that area. So once we get that cowlick area knocked out, we're going to go ahead and take the 1.5, close the lever, and just start knocking down the rest of the bulk of the hair on the top of the haircut. I do this because I do not want to take off too much in that cowlick area and make it look like it's balding. So that's just a little trick that I use to get the bulk knocked down on the top. And we're going with the grain, not against it. This is a 1.5 all the way around besides the cowlick area. And we're just getting all that bulk knocked out so we can start our fade on the side and transition everything into the ridge of the haircut. So the first thing we're going to do is going to take our wall senior, cordless seniors, and we're going to make our first bald line. And after that, I'm going to open the lever. I'm going to make a panel of hair to start fading into. His hair was really long on the side. Looks can be deceiving. It looks like it's short, but it's really long on the side. So I'm scooping out the hair that I do start cutting off of it, and just kind of flicking it aside to clear out the area without having to use a brush, just one simple motion. After that, I'm going to go ahead and close the lever. I'm going to start fading up, open the lever slightly, start fading up, open the lever a little bit more, and then just start fading out the rest of that panel. Right, it is a little sped up, but the process is very simple. You're just following a same process for every haircut, and it's going to help you to keep some consistency and also work on your time management. So now I have the one guard closed, and now I'm making another panel of hair. And then after we do the one guard closed, we're going to go and revert back to our 1.5 guard, and we're going to open the lever slightly, fade up, open the lever slightly, fade up. And you're going to see me adjusting the lever multiple times in this area because of the way that his hair growth is. In certain areas, there's a more dense area of hair that I have to attack multiple times. Adjusting that lever and messing with the lever, to me, is known as lever play. So you want to make sure that you're using the corner of your blade and just attacking those little dark spots that you see. Start with the lever open all the way. Then close it a little bit, attack it again. If it's still dark, close it a little bit more until you find where your lever needs to be at in order for you to get that hair faded out. So I couldn't get some of those dark spots with the 1.5 guard, so I ended up taking off the half guard. I took the half guard off, and now we have no guard, and I'm just playing with the lever, trying to get those dark spots out using the corner, the first 2-3 teeth of my blade to get those spots out. And as you can see, that they're coming out finely. So it's a process that you have to do, and just paying attention to these little details will help you to continually put out, you know, some very smooth fades. So the next guard we have now is the 1.5 guard close, and we're just starting to fade up into the ridge of the hair, and that's where we're going to have a major transition right there. You know, you want to make sure that you're staying consistent with your process. That way you can remember where you're at in the fade, remember where you're fading into. So after we do the 1.5 closed, I have the 1 guard on there and lever playing and just knocking out some of those lines, some of those dark spots that we see, constantly brushing the hair down, so that way you know how the hair is looking when the hair is brushed properly. So you don't want the hair to be going every which way, because you're not going to see what is supposed to be properly faded. So now I have that 1.5 guard, and I'm opening the lever, slightly fading up, opening the lever, slightly fading up into the bulk of the hair on top of the head. So that is, like I said, is a foolproof method on how to fade hair. Follow your processes and just make sure that you're staying consistent to a process. That way you can focus on time management and know how long it takes for you to do a haircut. So I have the 1 guard open, and I'm going with the grain in this area, lightening up those dark spots, lightening up the hairline so we can get that edged up later on in the video. But right here, the ridge is giving me a little bit of problems where it's not faded in all the way yet. So I'm just playing with the lever with that 1 guard on, using those first 2 to 3 teeth on the blade, and just making sure we get it knocked out. Now this side I time-lapsed extremely fast. You're going to be following the same process that you did on the right side on the left side. You want to make sure, if you're not too familiar with this texture of hair, that you know you're informing yourself and educating yourself on how to do these haircuts, because it's very easy to plug somebody or bald somebody out because you're not cutting the hair properly. So just make sure that you continually try to, you know, get your reps in with different textures of hair. That way you can be an overall barber, not just somebody who does one texture of hair. So you can broaden your clientele. The more you know about all types of different hair textures, the more you open up your clientele to a vaster spectrum of people, and that is the goal. You know, you don't want to be a one-trick pony. So make sure that you are trying to study different hair textures, study different hairstyles. You know, trends are constantly changing in our field of expertise. So just continually make sure you're educating yourself, paying attention to trends, because the biggest thing is high schoolers, they set the trend of what is going to be cool. That's what I've noticed. Like this past year, a lot of the haircuts that were popping were, you know, longer curly tops, mullets. So those are the things that were really popping this year that I've seen. So but right now things are kind of transitioning back into shorter haircuts again. So trends constantly change, so you got to make sure that you are staying on top of the game and educating yourself with the transition that hair is taking constantly. So right now I have the End of Slimline Pro allies, and we're just balding out the bottom portion where I did not knock out that hair yet, and just making sure we get everything faded smoothly. I'm not going to take a shaver to the side of his head. I'm just using the trimmer. So this is just a 00 that we're fading on the side, and then we'll go ahead and get to the edge up and get that nice and crispy. Now, if you've seen earlier, I went with the 1.5 on the front part of the edge up, or the 1 guard open, which is, you know, a little bit less than 1.5. I did that so I could thin out those hairs on the front, so we can get so we can see what we're edging up. And right now I got the End of Slimline Pro allies, and I'm edging those the front portion up. I start by making a mark in the center, and then I also make a mark on the side, and then I meet them together. And then also we're doing the vertical bars here. I'm not going to do the C-cup area. You'll see later on in the video that the fade wasn't high enough to make that C-cup area disappear. So I did adjust the fade later on and fade it just a little bit higher. But as you can see here, you know, we got that edge up is coming out nice and crispy, nice and precise. What you want to do is take your time and make sure that you're brushing the hair in the direction that it's going to lay. After he washes it or brushes it, or, you know, you want to make sure that you're directionalizing it the way it's going to lay down, the way he's going to brush his hair later on down the line, and make sure that you knock those little baby hairs that are hanging over. So like I said, you can see here the C-cup area, it's very visible, but later on I do make sure I go ahead and fade that part out. Now the next thing that I do is I'm going to spray the beard with some water. I do have a little bit of hair lotion in my water spray. It kind of just softens up the hair a little bit more. Once I put that water in there, I go ahead and take that pick and we start combing the hair out. The water just helps it to have, you know, a little bit more lubrication to get those hairs pulled out without, you know, tugging and tugging at the hairs when they're all tangled up. So after we brush out the hair, I'm going to go with the 2 guard lever closed, and he wants a good bit of this beard knocked down, especially with you know, COVID-19 and wearing the mask all the time. The facial hair really gets, you know, napped up when you're wearing a mask. So a lot of my clients are shaving their beards down really low or just getting rid of them altogether. But I have a 1 guard on lever closed, and we're knocking down the mustache area, and that's just to get those little stray hairs that stick out and protrude from the face, and it makes your mustache look a lot more cleaner. And then once you do that, we're gonna go ahead and start fading down. So I'm gonna have my lever open first, make a panel of hair, and we're fading backwards, we're fading downward. And then after that, I close the lever, and then we'll fade that little panel out. And then I get the half guard, and we open it, close it. The same process that you would use when fading upwards, up the side of the head, you're gonna use to fade down the beard. And we're gonna get all the way up to a 2 guard. Like I said, the biggest guard that I do use inside the shop is gonna be a 2 guard. Other than that, I do use shears or clipper over comb. It's just a lot more easier for me to do that, and that's just become the process that I take now. But right now we have that 2 lever open, and we're just getting out these little dark spots in the beard. We faded the beard down a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and edge up the backside, underneath, on top. And right here, like I said, I did fade out that C-cup area because we just wanted the vertical bars and the front edge up, and we did not want the C-cup, so I had to fade that up a little bit higher so we can get rid of that shadow. I'm just fading up using the same process, you know, open lever for a panel of hair, close the lever, faded it out, half guard open, half guard closed, lever play, and then I'm just gonna go over it, clean it up with the shaver. Now after I do this, I do it to the opposite side as well, and then we're gonna go ahead and get on to edging up the beard. So here we are, we're gonna go ahead and edge up that back portion. You want to make sure that you're brushing the hair constantly. Over direct the hair towards the back so you can get little flyaways that are just hanging out. That is a big crucial part of cutting always, is brushing, because you want to constantly brush off your canvas and make sure that you're not mistaking, you know, hair that's already been chopped off for hair that needs to be chopped off. Right here, we're getting the mustache along the lip line, and I'm getting that corner of the mouth. And a big thing for me is you want to always be very gentle with your clippers in that area, because your trimmers are sharp and that area of the mouth is very sensitive. After this, we're going to go ahead and get the bottom portion of the beard. We're going to get it nice and crispy, not exactly on the jawline, just a little bit further back than the jawline. And we want to make sure that we're staying consistent and getting any flyaways. So I have that 2 guard that I use on the side, and I'm getting the bottom portion now, and we're knocking all that bulk down on the bottom to make it even. And we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing that we did on the left side to the right side. You want to make sure that you're staying symmetrical with your haircut, and make sure that you're doing all that you can to make sure that both sides look exactly the same. So same like we did on the left side, we're gonna go ahead and fade the beard on the right side. Same process, you know, you want to make sure your lever open, make a guide, close the lever, fade that panel out, and so on. So as you can see here, also fading out this side of the C-cup area and just making sure we're staying uniform with our haircut. So this is not something that's, you know, an extremely difficult texture of hair. It's very easy. In my opinion, it's the easiest type of hair to cut. Maybe that's because I've been, cutting this texture of hair so long, but it's just a lot more easier to work with. But if you don't do it right, it is also the easiest hair to mess up and to bald out and to do some major damage. So you just want to make sure that you're staying consistent with your processes. Try to get, constantly get different people in your hair, in your chair, constantly get different hairstyles, and just try to make your services as versatile as they possibly can be. So after we do all the edge up with the trimmer, we're gonna go over it with the 245 triple cartridge exposed razor. And we're just gonna make sure that we're stretching the skin as we brush that blade against it. You wanna make sure you're stretching the skin the opposite way of where you're guiding the blade, and that'll give you a less irritated pull of the blade on the skin. It'll also, just make it more comfortable for your client. And that's the biggest thing, is you want to make sure that you are giving your client a very comfortable service. So what we do to one side, we're going to do to the other, like always. And I'm going to go ahead and edge up the top portion of his hairline down. And doing this way will allow you to get those flyaways that hang over with the razor, and just keep the haircut super sharp, super crispy, and just continue to make your haircuts look as precise as they could possibly be. And like I said, stretch that skin, pull in the opposite direction of where your blade is going, and it'll make a very smooth shave. I do dry shave a lot of clients, but getting to know your clients, who can tolerate a dry shave, and who needs to have shaving gel or shaving cream applied to make sure that it is as comfortable as possible. So make sure you're asking your clients questions. Make sure that you converse with them and figure out what is comfortable, what's not. Their opinion is crucial in the haircut. But there you have it, a blurry, I want to say a 00 fade on the side, 1.5 with the grain on the top, faded in the beard, edged it up, super crispy. But there's the haircut. I appreciate you for watching this video. Hope you got something out of it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. Follow me on Instagram @jbluns_. And until next time, peace.